Okay, so what are something like three top tips for a complete and utter beginner starting? Like, what is your top tips?
So, yeah, I guess like as a total beginner, so we kind of touched first of all on like really understanding the platform. So I'll ignore that, but that's obviously like a really important one. I think as well as like don't have this mindset of like I'm just gonna have like one store, I'm gonna have one little thing, and I'm gonna make it off of that, and don't when you just first start seeing success, because I think a lot of people, even myself, like you start getting that first success and you don't realize that you need to just keep pushing harder.
You assume it's going to be there forever.
Exactly. So like I think once you see that first success, a bit of you relaxes where you're like, the like at the best of times you just get a bit relaxed, right? You see your first success, as a beginner, maybe first month, 2 months in, you're like, oh damn, I'm making, I've replaced my salary, for example. But then a few weeks later, because you only had, one or two stores, that could be gone, right? So I think that's a major mistake a lot of people at the beginning make, is just, it's a bit of complacency, but it's also just not realizing that like, whether you're a beginner or you're a year in, like you do need to be just absolutely just like keep pushing it further and further, and never getting complacent. I don't know if that's a full-on beginner tip. That's maybe a bit abstract. What else? You cover a lot of them. That's the problem. Like
You can cover the same ones again. Like, it is kind of the same points.
it is the
same like
points.
10 points over and over again, pretty much.
Yeah.
I would say like starting is the number one thing. Like not like just bullshitting yourself and thinking you've started and thinking you're trying and thinking you're going for it, but just being like almost honest with yourself about your current position, and like, are you really on the trajectory to actually make something great with Etsy, with whatever, really?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people have like one store and they're like, oh, this is gonna make this millions and shit. Like, it's just not. A lot of people work 3 hours a day but they want to make 50 grand a month. It's like, okay, that's just not really gonna happen. It's just not. A lot of people don't hire any VAs for ages and they do everything themselves. Like, okay, you're just not going to scale. It's like a lot of people fool
only
themselves.
stick with one store.
Yeah, like a lot of people fool themselves and kind of, they know the actual answer, they know what they should be doing, but they don't actually do it. Like, that's the number one thing. I think it's almost just like not thinking and just kind of doing more. I think
it's fully that. It's like, I think people deep it a bit at the beginning where they're trying to find the perfect product, the perfect niche. Like the amount of times, actually, that's a good one. Like where people are like, oh guys, like what's the best niche? It's like, there is no better, just do everything, right? Just try everything, just keep trying, just start. Doesn't matter if you're doing jewellery or home goods or clothing, just start with something and then just see how it goes. Like if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But the amount of time people spend just trying to find, like, they just want that perfect niche or perfect product, and it's like, just start. Just doesn't need to be perfect at the beginning, because you're going to learn more by just starting than thinking about it, thinking like, oh, what's the obviously the logo, people don't really do that anymore, but just these small things like that where people want perfection, when in reality nothing, especially on Etsy, like it really doesn't need to be perfect at all.
No,
like it's more just like quantity.
Completely. This is what I'm telling people like all the time. Just take action. Just start. Like stop overthinking it. Like it's not going to solve anything. Actually, starting will at least get you started, right?
Like your Etsy store can be pretty scrappy, honestly, and
it will still do well.
It can be just like one of my stores, my best store actually at the moment. Like my brother did all the images, and they're so bad.
What's the name of the store?
I'm not telling. but if you see the images, you'll know, because they're terrible. But like, the images are so bad, and I'm like, how is this even successful? But it just works. Like it can just be rubbish, and just the algorithm, everything, just it gives you a lot of the lifting. The algorithm is crazy. Like it gives you the lifting. It really does.
My first store, literally 5 products, put 0 F in. Like really spent no. I don't even remember doing it. Like I don't even remember like when I did it. It was like before October. Like, I literally don't even remember doing it. And like just worked immediately. I made like £1,000 profit first month. Like.
There you go. It doesn't
10, like 9 second. I don't even remember what I fucking did. It was like 5 products.
Exactly. Whereas you could have very easily been like, oh, should I do this? Should I not? Should
I could have
try
thought about
else?
it for 3 months, and I would have missed Q4 and maybe not made money initially.
You just did it. You know?
The thing.
And anyone can do that, right? There's literally nothing stopping anyone. Like, no one can say that they don't have the time to even spend like an hour a day on Etsy, right? Obviously, not everyone has 12, 16 hours a day, but no one can really say they have no time to even give it a try. But most people won't even try it, right?
Yeah.
And most people won't even, they'll maybe open a store and then just leave it, or, you know,
literally.
They won't try anything, right? So, yeah. Any other beginner tips? Yeah, I think that is one that isn't emphasized enough, to be honest. Just like the niche thing, which is a big misconception. Just like, don't look for that best niche. Just like, everything works. Like, literally everything works on Etsy within reason. Once you understand the platform, there's no best niche. Like, some niches you'll make a lot of money and it will come with a bunch of headaches. Whereas other niches, they're super chill, relaxed.
I get so many questions. What's the best niche? What are the best products? Like, all of this stuff. What's some like hidden niches? All of this stuff. I'm just find something, start, get going. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I think on that as well, another tip is, it's a bit of a vague one, and maybe not for like very beginners, but a lot of people look too much at like the really small details, where for me, I think one thing I always do is I'm always looking at like the big picture. I'm not worrying about, oh, was this image perfect? I'm just worrying more about like, what's the bigger picture of scaling of systems. I think the earlier you start thinking along those lines, like, obviously it takes time. I think for me, it was about 2-3 months till I hired my first VA. Obviously that takes time, but like really having that from the get-go, thinking about your systems and the bigger picture, to me, that is a lot more powerful than worrying about tiny little details. Like, learn that stuff, but also have in your mind like the bigger picture side of things, and like where you actually looking to take this, rather than just perfecting one little store and then, you know, just kind of being complacent about it. So that's a bit of a vague one, but I feel like, yeah, that's something that
I think that's a good one.
Yeah.